What's up, guys? We are back tonight, and we are working on the RC again. So what we got is we ended up getting the transmission tore all apart, and these are our gears here from the transmission we had, and these are the gears here that we had from our other RC car that were already aftermarket. So these were high strength ones, and as you can see, they're way smaller in size also, and which also makes them way lighter. So just we're hoping putting these gears in here and our shaft weight here too. I believe this might be like a titanium, but the shaft's lighter than that too, and also stronger. So not that I'm saying there's going to be much of a difference, but anything like that with your two-stroke motors and all that, it'd be in the same sense of putting on like a lighter flywheel and stuff like that. It should have less drag on the motor. So if anything, I mean, we're only going in the direction of or helping it and making it maybe just a little bit more, you know, a little bit more nastier. So this is our case that we're going to be putting all our gears in and all that. So we got that going on, and then we got our parts in from Dave's Discount Motorsports, and we've ran these shafts before, but they were the first versions. These are version 2, so we're hoping to have a little bit better luck with these things. But as you can see, they're pretty heavy duty. They're pretty beefy. So we gotta get these all hooked up and installed, and yeah, we're hoping to get a lot of this together. It looks like our pull starter should be in tomorrow. Hopefully it is. And I'm hoping to get this thing all the way to the point to where hopefully we could fire it up tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens. We got a lot of work to do. I want to make sure I get this thing put together right, clean. You got to do a lot of cleaning and all that. And I remember missing a couple bearings, but it looks like we have some extras in our kit, so I'm hoping they are the right ones to get this thing all back together. So it won't affect us starting it at least, but it will affect us running. So hopefully we have those bearings. But keep these videos short. I'm going to get at it, guys, and we'll be right back. Alright, guys, just going to show you the rest of the diff tore apart before we put it all back together. But that's the rest of all this tore apart. So good thing we did take it all the way down, because our two small bearings here were actually not good. They don't look bad, but when you go to spin them, you could tell there's a little bit of roughness in there. So they weren't completely junk yet, but they were gonna go quick on us. And even though they're just tiny little bearings that go on the outside here, just that little bit would start to cause your cup to start to have a little shimmy to it. And once, I mean, these things are spinning so fast, so once you just get that little bit, it's going to start destroying a lot of things. So it's good that we caught that before that turned into a bigger problem. But other than that, we got two bearings that we had laying around, and then we had a broken seal on our diff, so we actually had a spare one of those too, so that was good. So the only other thing, what's cool with these differentials here is that for RC cars and stuff like that, you use different weights of oil to actually get that posi effect. So what a lot of people do, they'll run a thinner oil if they're doing like, they're actually racing these things, because you don't want both wheels locking up too much when you're in turns and all that, or you'll just do a lot of spin outs. But for us, since we're doing a lot of duning, you know, just having both wheels spin and getting the, you know, the best traction is usually more of a direction you want to go, so you use a thicker oil. And I'll have to look and see what kind of oils we have, but chances are we might just pack this thing with grease, which is going to give you pretty much almost posi. It's gonna lock up both wheels. There's gonna allow it be a lot of forgiveness, and with our higher horsepower here and all that, it's gonna be good. So it's gonna make it a little more violent, and it's gonna lock up and it's gonna rip. So they do sell kits where you could just eliminate this and just do a straight up, a locker in the back. But I mean, those get really violent. I mean, those are we wouldn't be able to cruise on the road too much. It'd be really wish-washy and all that, and we don't want to go that extreme. But packing it with grease, it's gonna give us probably our best option. So I don't think I have any oils that are that thick. A lot of my oils go for 10 scales and all that, which is a completely different, heavier the vehicle, bigger wheels and all that. Requires a thicker grease to get that posi lock up. So like I said, we're going to just use probably some good old grease. We're going to clean this all up, and we're going to start putting everything back together. And then, yeah, I'm going to get this all done, and I'll show you guys the transmission when it's together. Alright guys, so we got this thing all built up, and it came out really nice. And just to show you how time consuming this stuff is, this was my night right here. I mean, I definitely put a good couple hours worth of work in this thing. I was out here a little bit longer, but we were just taking our time, making sure everything was good. Went through all our bearings. They're real good. And actually, with this shaft I didn't think it saw the gear on there, so I didn't know how much lighter it was, but it is super. I mean, we've shaved off probably a pound or two just between the gears and the shaft. I mean, the difference is very surprising. So just I put our old case up here just to show you guys the difference. See, I was talking about how this has the cap, and then the whole sorry, the diff comes out. This you have to take the whole side off, and now when it sits in here, it'll be able just to pop off the back, and you won't have to gut the whole thing out. Part of the process you guys didn't see, which would also be something you'd have to do, is you'd have to remove your whole braking system and your pinion and your spur gear. Well, not your pinion, but your spur gear you'd have to take off. So we already had that stuff done. So this was actually already faster than what it would have been regardless. So huge upgrade. They're definitely pricey. We had bought this stuff a long time ago. So, and as far as I know, nothing's really changed. Turtle Racing does awesome stuff. They're a little bit pricey, but they are worth it. So just to show you guys our difference here and why we go with this brand of cup. They're a really good price and all that. Some of these drive shaft kits could get really salty. This brand here, Fastlane, is a pretty affordable price, but these are your stock HPIs, and you could just see how they just get tore up here on the inside. And these are already way stronger. They're thicker, but you can see how it has this closed ring. So another big issue is that these would just crack right off, and then you're kind of you're done. So there's no quick replacement. These, I have never broke one yet. Actually, the bigger issue we had on the version 1 of this were that these dowel pins here did not have that slot, and they would always back out of our drive shaft, and then we'd lose our pin, and then yeah, that became a little frustrating. And then they sell the pins now, but before they didn't sell the pins, or they were hard to come by. So then I had to buy custom pins and find a different company that made them, and things have gotten way better with that, it seems like. So I'm giving them another try. I'm hoping for the best. Again, we don't run. We're gonna make sure we red Loctite that stuff in and make sure they're tight as can be, because I don't want the same problem as I did with the last time I ran this stuff. But other than that, that's probably pretty much it for tonight. I'm gonna be back out here tomorrow. It might run tomorrow night. You just have to watch the video. But we're going to post this video right in the morning. But I don't want to make this video any longer than it has to be. So I appreciate you guys watching. And I will see you guys tomorrow night.